Check 1 2, check 1 2. How are you guys doing? Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to get started even though we don't have any viewers currently. We will be having viewers in just a moment. Besides, it's always great practice anyways. And I will be uploading this later. So aloha and welcome to the Mailani Hawaii page. As you can tell, I have been doing this for at least a year in terms of mentoring, but I've been a part of the music industry, kind of the fashion industry as well, because as an artist, you hook up with a lot of local fashion fashionistas, people who either design or also help you with your look. So I've been a part of that since I started with music more professionally for over 22 years. Okay, just to give you folks a brief background on what I've been able to do. 22 years ago, I started at the age of 16. I was a backup singer for a group called Soul Free. I was one of 3 backup vocalists. So I started there on stage, 16 years old, was in a club, ticketed event is pretty nuts. First time on stage in public like that, where people had to actually pay to come and see us perform. It was really nuts. And from the backup vocalist, I moved into the duo known as Keahivai. Myself and Lane Melkett made up this really great group, and we traveled the world with our music. You'll still hear my songs at every mall locally within the islands of Hawaii. So all the way from Kauai down to Hawaii Island, wherever you go to go shop, to do some shopping at a mall. And at the airports, every single airport on every single island locally here in Hawaii, you will hear my music. And not just only from Keahivai, also from my Hawaiian projects as well. After the duo, I went into a trio, and I was a part of a collaborative group called Mighty J, My, T for Tiki, and J for Gem. Lots of fun. It was the project of my dreams in terms of saying and singing whatever I wanted to say and sing, and wearing whatever I wanted to wear. And that was a little sketchy because now I didn't know what to wear, to the point where I wore like fishnet stockings and stripes and had red hair. It was really cool though. And at about 2007, 2008 was when I started working on my first Hawaiian project as a solo artist, which released in 2009. I'm very happy to say that I've been able to be a Nahoku Hano Hano finalist and award winner, both with Keahivai and as a solo artist as Mailani. I've been able to win Group of the Year, Most Promising Group of the Year, also Female Vocalist of the Year, both in 2010 and 2015. I recently won the EP award for my release of 2016 this year, and I just released a new EP as well. So aside from mentoring, I still keep very active in my own field as an artist as well. And I personally feel that I have a lot to offer aspiring artists, whichever field they come from, whether they want to be a model, whether they want to be an actor, and whether or not they want to jump into the music industry. So the music industry has been mostly my focal point of 2016 and 2017. What's exciting that I am announcing right now on this webinar is that in 2018, this mentorship will not just only focus on the music industry. It will also pour into the multifaceted entertainment industry. So if you're an actor, we're going to have classes to help mentor you to become a stronger actor. And that's theater, film. If you're already shooting your own web series on YouTube, whatever that may be, we have classes to help you with your acting. If you are a model and you come from, you have the dimensions, you have the height, you have the aspiration and desire to be a model and to represent looks locally at least, that's also something that we can help you doing to help create your portfolio and resume of work, which is really important because overall, as you're coming into the field and you're finding what your interests are, that's really where you're going to have to dedicate time, invest time, and also invest money into the field that you want to go after as an artist. Okay, so just off the top, that's my quick introduction. I've been able to be in, Japanese magazines throughout my time as an artist. So I'm not just a local artist, I'm an international artist. Jeez. Oh, every time I come out with an album, it'll be featured in a magazine. This is Hawaiian Wave, really cool cover magazine. I never thought I would ever be on the cover of a magazine. Here's a really popular Japanese magazine called Hula Heaven. And we did a really cool, I hate doing this because it seems like I'm so show offy, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm just letting y'all know, in case you don't know me, how valid my work is within the marketplace throughout the world. So that's all. So here I'm featured on the beach with some of my family members and some models there dancing hula. Some of them don't even dance hula, and some of them do dance hula. But this was a really cool way to share Hawaii and share Hawaiian music. I'll share some of my favorite foods like donuts, but I can't eat those anymore. Just some nice shots here with a really amazing photographer, one of Japan's top photographers. And yeah, we had a great shoot, great day. You recognize Kualoa. There's Kualoa behind there. Chinaman's hat, also known as Moholi'i. So, I've done a series of projects throughout my time as an artist. Throughout those years of working in and out of the industry, I've also met and collaborated with a lot of people that you can't just get to just because you see them on Facebook. You have to really be vetted by people like myself. And I also want to introduce this next person here that's on this call. But people like myself, people like my business partner and manager, in order to be taken seriously, in order for people to consider you for a part, or to consider you to open for a bigger act, or to consider even coming to watch you perform and listen to what you have to say, or to consider putting their latest fashionable dress or scarf or culotte pants on you as a model. So you have to have a series of, you have to have a body of work, a toolbox. I'm going to use a layman's term, a toolbox, in order for people who are already in the industry and have committed years to the industry, where they're not going to stop no matter what. That they're going to be a part of this industry. They might evolve, but they're going to do this until they die. And that's you're talking to one right now. I'm going to be doing this until I can't anymore, basically. So just to introduce to you my business partner, she's also the director of communications of the Mailani Hawaii Mentorship. She's a Miss Aloha Hula, Kumu Hula. She has owned record labels prior to our business working arrangement with Poipanda Records and Sean Na'oal. So if you folks are familiar with local music, she helped produce songs like Fish and Poi, Kapilina. She helped produce groups like 3+, Two Person Party. Gosh, what else can I say? Kahiel. She's shaking her head because she's like, enough already. But she's also helped produce artists like Josh Tatofi, who's currently a Grammy nominee. Also, Whoever, a trio of Hawaiian men who sing traditional Hawaiian music. And we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going. We also like to take talent, develop them, and see what they can do in the marketplace of Hawaii and possibly nationally and throughout the world. So everyone, please give a warm aloha to Kau'i Deliri.
Aloha.
So why don't you share some mana'o with the viewers?
So it's a really exciting time right now, and you folks have the opportunity to learn from a team that has gone through many, many trials and errors. And, we have years of experience behind us in this industry, and there's just a lot of exciting things coming up, especially with our new partnerships with agencies in LA and New York, and even worldwide in Japan and the different countries that we visit year round. So I don't know, it's just a great time for all of you to get involved, do something. So
yeah. So as Kau'i was mentioning, it's a great time for you folks to get involved and jump into the industry. One of the biggest things that I get super excited about living in this age in 2017 with the internet, with YouTube, with Snapchat, with Instagram, et cetera, and also with the film industry, is the fact that you no longer have to look like this. You don't have to only be African American or or Anglo-Saxon white. That's no longer a part of the demands. In today's time, the film industry, they're looking for diversity. They're looking for people that look like you and me. They're looking for people that look of Asian ancestry. And whether or not you're white looking or African American looking, if you can act, if you have the talent to act, if you have the talent to sing or even to dance, they're going to want to find a part for you, because looking diverse, looking mixed is in demand. This has never happened in the history of the film of the film industry ever. In our days, we wouldn't even consider trying out for parts because they were not looking for people who looked Hawaiian or who looked Filipino or who looked Indian or who looked, and the list goes on, or who looked Chinese. And most of those roles were really only given to like the Chinese films in Mandarin. Okay, so you no longer have to look like this anymore, guys. And that's another thing. You don't have to be thin. Now, if you're going into modeling, depending on your dimensions and depending on your area of modeling, you may have to be fit like this. But then there's also the plus size, and I hate the term plus size. Let's just call it find a word for me. Curvaceous. So there's models like Ashley Graham, who's tall enough, and Ashley Graham does not look like this, but she is an all-star international model for top brands throughout the world. And so the old norms are no longer the norms of today. In fact, what's so exciting is that there are no norms today. So if you want to be part of the industry and you're thinking, oh, I'm not this size, or I don't sound like this, or I don't look like this, that no longer exists, and that no longer applies to all of the entertainment industry. We're living in a very open-minded society, and because we're so mixed, 2/3 of the world's population is Asian, and so we are very, very mixed. And that's the audience that the film industry needs to connect with, because we are the numbers. The people who were considered the minority are the majority. And the people who were the majority are no longer the majority. So they're pretty much the minority now. And so that's what's really, really exciting about living in this time. Now, working in conjunction with what I had just told you about the demands of people looking diverse, and what the film industry is looking for, and what the music industry is looking for, and modeling industry is looking for. What they're looking for most of all is talent. So it doesn't matter if you're black, white, red, yellow, purple, blue. If you're a talented blue person, you are going to get a call back. If you're a talented red person, and I hate using colors too, but you get what I'm saying? I mean, if you're an orange and an apple and cucumber, hey, if you are talented, that's when you're going to get a call back. If you have no talent and no skills, even if you're good looking, you're still going to have a very hard time finding work. You're still going to have a very hard time being taken seriously, because you are now in a place where people like us who don't look like the norms back in the 80s and the 90s have worked our butts off all this time. We've worked on our craft. We've worked on our music. We've worked on our vocals. We've worked on our look. We've worked on our fitness. So all these years of working on our skills, you're still going to have a hard time if you come up with no skills and you're just pretty and you're just good looking, or maybe you buy the right clothes. Okay? So this mentorship helps develop your raw skills. You can go pretty much to any talent school, whatever talent schools there are available for you. And some people host weekend workshops, weekend events, and those are great. But the thing that happens with weekends is in order to change, in order to evolve or improve, the human brain needs at least 67 days on average to change. So people who are trying to lose weight, if they only eat good for like 2 weeks, and then they go right back to the same bad eating habits, they're not going to change. Maybe they changed for 2 weeks, but they're not going to change. It literally takes 67 weeks to create a change that's lasting. And so when someone goes on a weight plan or a healthy nutrition plan and they're lifting weights, if that person does all of that work and stays committed and disciplined for 67 days, then they're going to see results, long-lasting results, and their lives are going to change. Their circle of friends are going to change. The way they communicate with others and with the rest of the world is going to change. And attention, their attention, like people who pay attention to that, that just skyrockets. We all watch people who look beautiful because the human mind also is attracted to things of beauty. Okay? We all love listening to really good music because the human mind loves listening to something that affects our spirit, our soul, to get us moving. Okay? So we help take an artist and we take their natural beauty and we just help magnify their strengths. We've been able to do this throughout the mentorship of 1 year. So just to give you a brief background of the success stories, we have 2 girls, Shacey and Skylar Nihal. They are sisters. They're from Hawaii Island. And talk about commitment. They've flown to Oahu a few times to shoot their videos, to perform in a concert, standing ovation, to do their commercial reels for commercial work and print ad work. And then they would go back home, still work on themselves. We would have conference calls with each other, even though they don't live on this island. Long story short, we went up to LA. They also went up to New York on their own. And they are currently signed to a New York agency and an LA agency. They are moving to LA in February. So in 2 months, they're going to be gone. Like, see ya, Hawaii. They're out of here because that's their dream. Okay, so that's one success story. Another success story we have, there's a 17-year-old senior over at Kaiser High School. Her name is Kahea Subiono, a beautiful songwriter. She does great work, and she's going to be going to Azusa College for music and for her artistry. So she's graduating next May or June, and then that summer she's moving to LA. There's some artists that also have turned into entrepreneurs. We have a young, beautiful artist named Kalehua Zudemeister, who has a lot of followers on Instagram as well. And she turned into an entrepreneur where she's going to school full-time. She works full-time. She sings here and there throughout the community. And she now has her own line of quilts and pillows and blankets. But entrepreneurialism is also a part of these courses because it's something that we both come from. Aside from myself having 22 years experience, how many years do you have behind you?
Lots. Can I just say lots? Otherwise, it's going to tell my age.
Oh, goodness. Well, as you can tell, she's older than me. But Kau'i has been in the industry before I did. Let me just tell you that. She's been a part of this music industry and the hula world as well since she was born. She's a deliri. So you guys all know about the deliri ohana. But she has a lot of years behind her. And, you know, it just doesn't happen overnight. But hey, this girl, this family, the Nihaus, they started their journey with me a year ago. Okay, and for them having worked so hard from a year to now, I have no doubt and no question that if anyone worked that hard on themselves and on their craft, and if that's the market you're after, you're hands down, you'll be able to connect with the right people. And so the other thing that we offer are not only contacts that we know locally here throughout the islands, but also contacts that we have created in LA, in New York, and also in Japan, and even Mexico. And so we're going to continue to grow. This company is going to continue to grow and help plant seeds, help source out opportunities for all of our artists that are very committed, are very disciplined, and who want the golden egg, whatever that golden egg is. Now, here's some mana'o that I feel is very important for me to give all of you who are watching. You have to clearly define what your golden egg is, okay? So are you, like, is it music that you want to get into? Okay, great. Is it the local market that you want? Do you want to be the island contemporary music like what Kolo Hikai did? Which, by the way, I also collaborated with Kolo Hikai on their second album song called Lighthouse. Really cool stuff. And do you want the Hawaii music market? Well, then all of that is extremely important and vital to the hula world. The hula world and Hawaiian music, they go together like this. They're like they go together like this, hand in hand. Hula and Hawaiian music. Okay. Is it reggae? Well, that's also something that we've both been able to do successfully, well, personally and with other artists as well. And then if you want more than just the Hawaii music market, what is it the market that you want to go into? Is it the Reggae Fest out in the States? Just to give you a brief background story on the artists that are doing it right now. Groups like The Green, groups like Maoli, who come from the island of Maui, Anuhea, Kimie, they're doing great work all on the States, but they still have to come back home and do what they do at home because I don't think they want to leave Hawaii just yet. But they worked very, very hard. They both, let's take for instance, because I'm a wahine, I'm a woman. Anuhea and Kimie are both women. They both would rent their own sound systems for their gigs and play and write for years before they finally reached the level of success and the level of activity that they've got. So this isn't only just about me and what I've been able to do and create for myself and for my students, but you can look around you and see, okay, that was their journey, because nothing really does happen overnight. My journey hasn't happened overnight. Kaui's hasn't happened overnight. And for the Nihal family, sure, we could say a year, but Shacey Nihal, she's been singing since she was 3 years old. And so you have to clearly define what your golden egg is, what your dream is, where you want to position yourself. And instead of flying all the way out to LA and trying out for all these castings and you don't have a headshot, you don't have a commercial reel or even a monologue, you have none of those things behind your name, you're gonna have a really, really hard time, and you're going to spend a lot more money than you would had you just not really honed in on your strengths, committed yourself of this mentorship, and then end up with a good toolbox that you can present to any casting agent, to any audition panel. And that's what we offer here. So within the confines of the mentorship, we also teach IP. IP stands for intellectual property. So when you create something like a song or a pattern of dresswear or a fashion or a print, that is IP. That is intellectual property. Publishing your music would just be as important to publish and trademark your name, or publish and trademark your print, your designs. Okay? Even as a dancer, I'm not sure like how dancers do it, but even your choreography can be something that is published, trademarked, and protected. In other words, okay. So these are the things that we teach. I'm happy to see the great interest and inquiries that's coming in. Aloha and mahalo to each and every one of you who are on still. But in the meantime, aside from what we offer, I want to make sure that every audition that comes through, because we're going to do a one-on-one audition later on, should you continue to be really interested in what it is that we do for our students, we need to make sure that you're qualified. Okay, we want to get you qualified. We would love to say yes to everybody, but we can't. I only take 10 at a time, and I take the 10, the cream of the crop 10. So make sure that you schedule with me an interview. Make sure that you schedule with us a personal call, and we'll be glad to speak to you one-on-one. We require a legal guardian or a parent present if you're under the age of 18. Okay, there's a lot of funky stuff taking place in the industry, and it has always really been around, but more so, we believe in security. We believe in protecting the youth. We believe in doing things safely, and you are in a safe environment. But if you're watching this without a parent or legal guardian and you're under the age of 18, I can't do anything for you until I get a talk, a meeting, or a FaceTime with one of your parents. Okay? So keep that in mind. We don't take any calls with students under the age of 18 unless there's an adult around. Anything else you'd like to add? There's so much more we could talk about.
I think one of the keys to success is being prepared, and the Mailani Hawaii program definitely does that for you. I mean, it creates the foundation, the groundwork for you to understand the industry you're getting into, and she helps develop your talent, and all these things are important. And I think the thing that was really going well for Shacy and Skylar when they got up there to both New York and LA is that they were prepared. They had their headshots, they had their bios, they had their reels, they had everything that they needed to basically sell themselves or show their talent to the agents up there. And so that's what's great about this program, is that they get you ready, we get you ready, and you know, it's easier to move forward when you know what you're doing than to just kind of try and wander and figure out and learn from your mistakes. So this way, at least you get a good pathway, a roadmap to where it is you want to go. You know, whether it's a singer or an actor or a model, at least you have the framework to go after your goals. So yeah, I mean, we're excited to hear from you folks, and we hope you really invest in your future and your dreams.
Yeah. I want to let each and every person who's watching right now know that any of the huge stars that you see on screen, from Chris Pratt, you know, star of Guardians of the Galaxy, to gosh, just name them, anybody, Beyonce, to Mariah Carey. I mean, those are more of the stars of my time. I don't know who you guys are watching now. Kendrick Lamar, Justin Timberlake. Any single actor, actress, or even model that you see, please understand they just got there just because. Even Jason Momoa is from Hawaii, Hawaiian boy. Okay, please understand that they took the time to invest in themselves. They took the time to invest in their craft, in their talents, and also all the hard copy things that every single agency will need and will require, or no one's going to even see you. No one's going to take the time of day to see somebody who doesn't have a resume or portfolio of work. No one. You're going to waste that person's time. Like, don't even email an agency and say, I want to try out, but you have none of these things. You're just wasting their time, and you're wasting your time too. So please know that every single child that you see on the MailaniHawaii.com, Mailani Hawaii Facebook page, Mailani Hawaii Instagram, every single student and their families, they invested a great deal so that their kids who are talented have an edge. Okay, you eliminate your competition. That's the difference between a star and a dreamer. I'm a dreamer and a star. I have dreams, and I create those dreams. I materialize my dreams. I make my dreams happen. You know, it's concrete. But people who just feel like, okay, I have to pay tuition, never mind. If you join soccer, you would have to pay tuition. If you join karate, you'd have to pay a tuition. And so please don't think that this is just going to be a freebie handout. And this is not my I'm being hard on you, but the industry is hard. So this is my soft hard. This is my soft hard for you to really grasp the mana'o of what stars in the making have to do every single month of their career. Okay. You know, ink isn't free. Setting up a huge shoot to do your headshots, it does not come free for anybody. You can go to Sears, you can go to Costco, and it will still cost money. But the difference is those photographers aren't really photographers. They just set up the light, turn it on. Okay, you're wearing white. All right, I'll put a brown background behind you, and then click, click, and then you're done. That is not what happens in our mentorship. We take pride in every single artist, student that we have, and we give them the very best photo shoot where they can take their photos and present it to the agency. They can take their photos and be able to audition for different parts. Okay. Let's see, Manaola. I'm so excited to share that they're the first Hawaiian fashion designer to have attended the New York Fashion Week this past year. And some of their models weren't ever models. Some of their models were actually musicians. So we're also living in a time where you're not just one thing. You can be anything that you want if you have the will, the determination, and all that great stuff that you read about, but you got to live it. You have to act the part. You have to do it. There's a difference between thinking about it, sitting down, contemplating, and then actually doing it. Richard Branson, You guys know Richard Branson? He's the head, the CEO of Virgin Airlines. Prior to owning an airline company, he owned a music record label called Virgin Records, and then a store that would sell and distribute music throughout the world. He's from London. He has a saying called "Screw it, let's do it." And we live by that every single day. Sometimes a plan doesn't make sense, but it's just something we want to do. And so we say, screw it, let's do it. Maybe we don't have all the money today. Maybe we don't even have the time, but you know what? This is something that I want to do. We're just going to go and do it. And we've been able to create so many things, not just for ourselves and our families, but for other people. And so I like that mana'o. I like to live by that mantra. Screw it, let's do it. Okay. Richard Branson, he also circled a good piece of the globe in an air balloon. And he had to jump off his air balloon into the water, into the ocean. And luckily for him, the Coast Guard found him. The Coast Guard found him in the water and his companion. They had to like helicopter around through ocean waves very high, but they, thank God they're alive. But they took chances, crazy chances. Okay. And so I want to let you know, when you say yes to this, at least yes to my one-on-one call, and have a one-on-one audition with me, then we're going to go ahead and make things happen so that we can help change your life. Basically, we've been able to help change lives of our students since we started this. And it doesn't matter if you think that you're too young, or maybe you think you're too short, maybe you think you're too this, maybe you think your voice isn't strong enough. We're going to take those things that you need strengthening, and we're going to strengthen them up for you. Okay. All right. In the meantime, thank you so very much for joining us. You can reach me. Here's a number. Wait, let me see. Oh, is it backwards? Oh, it is backwards. I don't know how to do it. You can reach us at 808-627-2942 to further your interests and to make this happen for yourself. We are only taking 10 students, just 10 of the most talented students. We're going to audition a whole bunch, but only 10. We can only take 10. Sorry, but that's my commitment so that I can make sure that this isn't about taking on 300 students. This is about taking 10 and giving the best that we can give to those 10 students, and they can go on in the world and conquer bigger and badder mountains. Okay, so just 10. We also have a special going on for Christmas. Okay, tuition is $1,500 plus tax. We have 3 tiers. Each tier is about 8 weeks, but they last within a 3-month cycle. Okay, and if you pay the $1,200 plus tax one time, then it's not going to be $1,500. If you need a payment plan, then it'll amount up to $1,500. But if you can do the $1,200 one time, one lump sum, that's the discount. The discount is $300. That's a big discount, and we're willing to give that because it's Christmas time and we understand. But know that the $1,500 with your headshot, that's for the 1 tier. Second tier is you get to come into this studio, this beautiful studio, state-of-the-art studio, record your demo. It's another big thing that you need. And then number 3, you're going to record a professionally shot video, music video. Okay? Either you're going to write your own song, or you're going to come in and you're going to do a cover. And we're going to be able to provide all of those things. Each tier is $1,500. Okay? That's a lot of teaching on my part, me and my team. That's a lot of work in the studio for each and every one of you. And we also have the opportunity to provide you a live performance where you get to meet the industry professionals that we personally know. That's a big deal. Like you can't call these people and say, hey, can I meet up with you? Can you listen to my Facebook page? Can you listen to my Instagram video? You can't call people like that and do things like that, especially when you're not vetted. And so also, please don't ever do that. It's just a freebie. Please don't ever do that. Please don't ever do that. Anyhow, yeah, number again is 808-627-2942. Feel free to email me at contact@mailanihawaii.com. We'll be happy to get a one-on-one audition interview with you. Make sure that if you're under the age of 18, make sure that your parent or legal guardian is around, okay? So that's what we have to provide. And it's going to be exciting. This is going to be our 2nd year in the making, and we're already doing great things for the students that we've had come through. So aloha, stay blessed, God bless you. Merry Christmas. And if you're on the island of Maui, we will be coming to Maui end of March into April. All right. You guys take care. Any closing thoughts?
We just look forward to meeting all of you and talking story and finding out what your dreams are. So give us a call and we'll just have a great time together. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Aloha.
Aloha. Merry Christmas.